Good morning, guys, and welcome to your Bitcoin report for this Monday, October 15th, 2018. Now, here's the thing. I might have been wrong about something, and I'm going to get to it, what I might have been wrong about. I might have got a signal this morning of how I was wrong. The financial, there's a huge thing has happened. First off, Saudi and United States relations. There's been a sudden wedge driven between Saudi and U.S. relations. Now, this is the fundamental underpinning of the petrodollar, is Saudi-U.S. relations. Without the petrodollar and being the standard to sell oil, buy and sell oil as the dollar, without the dollar being that standard, and we know that that standard has been eroded. The Chinese have oil futures contracts that are not denominated in the United States dollar at this point, and there's other ways that they've been selling oil. They've been eroding the petrodollar, and this is very important to the world's financial system. Because without the dollar being backed by oil, the dollar is backed by nothing. It becomes strictly a fiat currency. Oil, up to 1971, when Nixon took us off the gold standard, the United States dollar was backed by gold. Then they switched, and the United States dollar was backed by oil up until now. If you take the United States, and it's not backed by oil anymore. Like I said, the dollar's backed by nothing. Now, here's the key part of all this. Bitcoin, I was making an assumption of the way people would react when fear hit the marketplace. And I know fear is coming. Fear is coming, and it's coming big time to the marketplace soon. I was trying to judge the way they would react to fear within the marketplace. And I was looking at it with a logical perspective, with using my own logic and applying it to the masses. But where I made my mistake is, or could have made my mistake, because I might still be right. But this signal I got this morning indicates I could be wrong. And I'll explain the signal in a minute. And it applies to cryptocurrency. I assume that logically, because it's logic, because Bitcoins and the cryptocurrencies are a speculative investment, my logical assumption is that when they got really frightened, they would run back to safe haven assets and drop a speculative investment. But that's assuming that they're going to react in a logical way. The masses do not always act logically. And if they drive cryptocurrency up too fast, too much, too fast, they drive it up, it can become overnight. It can cease to be a speculative investment, and it can become a safe haven asset. Just by the fact that so much money is pouring into the space. And at that point, it's like the bumblebee. The bumblebee is not supposed to fly, but the bumblebee flies because the bumblebee is so big and his wings are so small. That's the way with cryptocurrency. If enough money pours into the space and it goes up so high, it might not necessarily come down if there's no other place for money to go. Now, see, that's what's been supporting the dollar up until now. Is the fact that where else are you going to go besides the U.S. dollar? That's in a conventional way of thinking. But if you get enough money pour into the cryptocurrency space, it'll be where else are you going to go besides crypto? I know it's not logical, but once it starts to fly in that direction, everything could start to actually happen. And this, I believe that fear is entering the marketplace big time, and it should be, because if the Saudi-U.S. relationship is breaking down, you should be frightened, very frightened. This is a very important thing. Even though it seems like it's not that big a deal, to laymen out there who do not study the financial system, this would seem like, this is no big deal. But I'm going to tell you, for people who've studied the financial system for years, this is a big deal. The breakup of Saudi-U.S. relations could be a very big deal. Or a cooling, even, of Saudi-U.S. relations is a very big deal. So let's take a look, and let's open the charts right here and take a look at what's going on. Here's the tell right here. And this news is announced, and the Bitcoin cryptocurrency market was going along stable at 61.97 for ages. I mean, it was just like, it was like flat. It was flat, like a flat tire, you know? And it was going along flat, and nobody wanted to really sell too much at those prices, and nobody was really buying that much at those prices. But look, I think that I haven't checked the markets and haven't checked the news on Bitcoin this morning yet, but I think this was a fear trade right here. And it spiked it up to 67.56. Well, it's dropped back a little bit, but it's still almost 6,400 bucks. This is a huge spike right here in the price. And this is a fear trade. And fear, it looks to me like they're running into cryptocurrency, but cryptocurrency ain't the only one, look, that they're running to. You see right here? Boom. Silver up 12 cents. Let's take a look at gold. Live charts for gold. Gold up $8.90. Now it's fell at the exact same time that cryptocurrencies fell back. Gold has fell back a little bit too, but it was up even higher. It was up quite a little bit higher earlier. It's fell back down some. The same spike at the exact same time for gold, for silver, and for cryptocurrency. I'm not going to exactly take a look and see what the dollar did, but these are the assets that I've listed as gold, silver, and dollar but like I say, I applied logic, but the thing is logic doesn't always apply in an emergency situation or in a situation where the world is going crazy, you know, quite seriously. So this is something we got to keep an eye on. So we're going to take a look at cryptocurrency market capitalizations this morning and see what it's doing. We went up $12 billion overnight. Bitcoin dominance 54.4%. And this is exciting, really, honest to goodness, because stuff that I've been talking about happening for the longest time now is starting to unravel so quick that I can't keep up on the news. Honest to gosh, I go to sleep overnight and the world is starting to change that fast that I wake up the next morning and I have to play catch up. I mean, it's just, this whole thing's starting to unravel so fast. It's scary in one way, and in another way, it's like, oh my God, you know? So anyway, here we are, and all the coins are up except Tether. Tether's down. Evidently, Tether is I haven't studied the coin. I don't know that much about it, but to an extreme amount. But I think that it's tied to the U.S. dollar, and it's down. But everything else is up pretty good numbers here. XRP is up quite a little bit, up 6.73%. Litecoin is up almost 3%. Where can you make those kinds of gains on your money, you know? And everybody right now is out for yield. They're all chasing yield. Bitcoin made 5.48% overnight. You know, that's a lot of yield. Most times they're happy with that for a whole year. You know, these things got room to run. Uh, I believe that personally that Bitcoin's got room to run where you can make 5.48% every single night for 5 years. That's the kind of room it's got to run. You know. Anyway, listen, thank you guys for listening. Stay tuned in this tumultuous world, and I'll be back tomorrow morning with another market report. Bye-bye for now, guys.